Welcome to episode 6 of After the Ride. I don't even know what the title of this is going to be. This is off the cuff, and this is based off a comment that I had on a previous video on the Dan and the Fireman channel. And just to give you some context to the video will be linked in the description, by the way. But to give you some context of it, it's a motorcycle rider riding in lane position 2, so in the middle of the lane. He's going on the interstate, so 75 miles an hour is the speed limit. He's going 74, so perfect. We have a red truck coming in from the lane to his right, and he sees the hazard. He sees them slowing down. He recognizes that his lane is wide open. The truck lane is not, so he's getting ready for it. He's getting ready for what's going to happen. What's going to happen? We don't know, but he's situationally aware. And when he gets closer and closer and closer, that red truck wants to go into his lane, starts merging over into his lane, and now this motorcycle rider, since he saw it, he accelerated, swerved a little bit to lane position 1, so still within his lane. He moved over just one lane position while accelerating through, got past the hazard, and that's the end of the story. And that is a beautiful use of situational awareness and fundamental skills, swerving and acceleration. So I had a comment on the channel, and once again, this is not to bash anybody, but it gives me a good mindset or insight of these types of people that watch videos, motorcycle videos online. And this is the comment right here. So all I see is a basic small swerve, so much that he did not even went out of his lane. What is impressive about that? I guess riders today are such kamikazes that this is impressive, question mark. I replied to it because I believe these comments do they're learning moments, and I believe this is a good learning moment. And I put, this is impressive because how uneventful the close call is. That is the point. We see people panic all the time and crash, but he was aware of his surroundings and avoided it. The situational awareness isn't exciting, but it keeps us safe. And that's really the big point that I want to make when it comes to motorcycle safety, motorcycle skills, YouTubers promoting certain things here and there, coaches promoting certain things here and there, and just the way the industry goes. And I talked a lot about that in my previous podcast on episode 5. So I believe in order to make something exciting, and you're going to tell me I'm wrong on this, you're going to see something exciting on YouTube. So you see all these motorcycle crash compilations, close call compilations. You have people on YouTube showing crazy skills, which are very impressive, to be quite honest. And then you have all these things, but nobody ever talks about the situational awareness. Nobody ever talks about the standard motorcycle close call or crash. All we really see is what's exemplified, I think that's the word, on YouTube. We see these massive, terrible crashes, and we expect, that's how people crash, in these massive cornering incidents or people turning left in front of them. But guys, I've been on motorcycle accidents. I've seen motorcycle fatalities. I've seen people's legs ripped off and ankles removed. I've seen them with their skull crushed. I've seen all that stuff. And a lot of the times it's just some dumb, mundane, typical ride where somebody made a mistake and we screwed up in avoiding or recognizing the hazard, and then we crash. We strike into an object, we strike into the car, we're not paying attention, all these different things, and it's just so boring of an accident, but it kills motorcycle riders because we don't have the motorcycle protection or the car protection. We don't have a cage. We don't have airbags. We don't have, Goldwings have airbags, but that's a different story. We don't have all the stuff to keep us protected for a simple, dumb mistake or a lapse in situational awareness like a car does. And that's what's killing motorcycle riders. This would be a very uneventful fender bender. This would be something stupid, dumb that insurance, it wouldn't even be good enough for an insurance quote, because if somebody sideswiped me and caused a little bit of pain or caused something, and it's let's say my deductible is $500 and it takes me $100 to fix, then I'm just going to spend $100, right? Well, if that happened to a motorcycle rider, guess what? That's tens of thousands of dollars in hospital bills or death. So yes, this mundane, unimpressive quick little one lane position swerve and acceleration, that right there saves lives. That right there would have been a fender bender with a motorcyclist, but it would have crushed his right leg. And then he would have dumped the bike, and then now at 75 miles an hour, hit things or cars hitting him, dead. So to me, that is way more impressive. Somebody doing exactly what they should be doing to avoid a situation is more impressive than the guy that put himself in the situation and did some crazy, swerve across 2-3 lanes to avoid something. That to me is not as impressive of what I showcased on my channel. And, I could be biased and everything because I focus a lot on the situational awareness, and because this guy, I didn't find out till later that he took a class with the company I work with, Ride Arizona MTC, and then he's been watching my channel. That's great and all. I'm just super excited that he utilized the training that not a lot of people utilize, not a lot of YouTubers talk about, not a lot of coaches spend time on. And I feel like that's where we're failing students, we're failing viewers, we're failing the motorcycle community. And that, I can just keep going on about the community. I can go on about all these different things. It's like, at the end of the day, don't we want others to be safe? Don't we want our brothers and sisters that are riding to be safe? Whether they are massive advanced riders, knee dragging or whatever, trail braking all the time, as long as they're safe, that's great. If my guy or these people over here are safe because they saw the hazard and didn't have to use crazy skills, shouldn't we be happy about that? Who cares if it's impressive or not? I don't care. I just care that he was able to send me the video afterwards because he wasn't in the hospital or dead. That's what I care about. And I think that we're starting to run into a problem when it comes to the YouTube community, viewers and YouTubers, and then also possibly the coaching community. And I talked about that in the last video, in the last podcast. But now this kind of goes into the viewer and YouTuber dynamic. I talked about coaches are not decreasing fatalities, but now this video, honestly, it could be YouTubers are focusing on the wrong things. Honestly, that's probably gonna be the time. Motorcycle coach YouTubers or whatever is focusing on the wrong things. And it doesn't matter if it's impressive or not. This is, and we got more comments on this one. It's like, this is like an everyday thing. What are you talking about? Cars do this all the time. Yes, cars do this all the time. We are running into this situation all the time, every single day. But guess what? If you run into it 100 times, hopefully there's not that 1%. So one time out of 100 times that person hits you. But it happens every single day you ride. And that moment of lapse in judgment or whatever it is, and you're not focused, one's if that car just comes out a little bit and hits you, just taps you because you weren't paying attention. That's what I'm talking about, guys. We need to focus and focus and focus. We need to zone in, not zone out. We need to pay attention to these cars wanting to come into us. We need to pay attention to intersections when we're approaching them, because guess what? Cars turning left in front of us kills so many motorcyclists. I see it all the time. I'm part of Facebook groups. I watch the news. I subscribe to the news on the internet, and I see another one. Car turning left in front of motorcycle riders in the hospital. Then, like a day later, motorcycle rider passed away. Now it's under investigation. I'm seeing all these things all the time. And I don't see, hey, you know what, this motorcycle rider went off the cliff, or this motorcycle rider, did wheelies and crashed. I don't see any of that stuff. I see people crashing into cars, turning left in front of them, or crashing into light poles, or getting sideswiped, or whatever it is. That's what I see on the news. And that's what I'm focusing. It's like, why is that happening all the time? Are we not presenting ourselves better at the intersections? Are we not focused on, hey, this is an intersection, this is going to be a hazard trap, this is a crash factor right here? We're not thinking that. We're thinking like car drivers, that we can just go through these intersections, we can go through these turns, we can just be side by side with another vehicle and not care, because if they do touch me, guess what? It's just going to be a paint issue. It's going to be an insurance issue. Think about it right now while you guys are listening or watching this. If you're in the car, if somebody hits you, what is your biggest concern? Can you afford the insurance? Does the other person have insurance? When you're sitting on a bike and you go and riding, are you concerned with your insurance? Are you concerned with if you can pay for this? Or are you concerned that hopefully I don't get hit today so I go to the hospital or possibly die? That's the two big differences, and we cannot think like we are car drivers because we are motorcycle riders. We can't think of insurance quotes or how much this is going to cost because we don't. We can die. And as uneventful as somebody kind of encroaching in our lane, that might be uneventful for a car driver, but for a motorcycle rider, that is life and death. So it's our job to see that hazard beforehand. I need you guys to understand that. I really do. Go out there and get some training. Go out there and sign up for a class. Whatever organization you want to go, I don't care. Take a class. But let's focus also on the hazard perception, the situational awareness, to seeing the hazards before they happen, so that all we have to really use is fundamental basic skills to get ourselves out of situations. Okay? So develop your fundamental skills, get some basics, and then hyper focus on situational awareness. Whether you get that from me or you watch some police videos or gun videos or wherever you can get situational awareness training, get it. I don't care where you get it. Stay safe, guys. I want you to be safe. I retired because I'm so sick and tired of seeing dead people. Quite honest. People in the worst situations ever, just dead, dying, injured, screaming. I hate that shit. Fucking hated that. And I don't want that for us. I don't want that for us. This is the one thing that I feel confident in, that makes me feel good, and I want it to keep going. So I got to be safe about it. And I see how a lot of you guys are getting so much out of it, so much joy, so much this and this and this and this, but then we're dying. You can't enjoy that. Now you have your family and friends are mourning you. It's just, we can do better. We can do better. As motorcycle riders, as coaches, as YouTubers, as viewers. So if you're ever on any of my videos and you see something like this, take it from a position of, these are my brothers, these are my sisters, and I want them to be safe because I know they want me to be safe. And that is the community I want to foster. And I don't allow people that don't want to foster that community. I really don't. And I think that's why my Discord server has jumped up to 2,200 more members, and everyone is just supportive of each other. And the Motorcycle Training Concepts Facebook group that I got going on, I just started it. We're close to 300 members now. Super focused on keeping everybody safe through training. So those all will be linked in the description if you ever want to join those and be a part of something that I believe is more important than showing off and being reckless or even being risky safe, you know? I think it's more so the caring of another human being and then focusing on what really matters. I don't know. I'm jumping on a little soapbox. I don't know how to end those. With that said, though, thank you for stopping by episode 6. I'll see you on episode 7. See you later.